Some of you guys might not know this, that I used to work for the UK's competition regulator. So I used to work for the CMA as a case officer. So basically, if a company buys another company, we would make sure that a monopoly wouldn't form. And if it did, we would either force a divestment. So we would force the company to sell the company that it just bought, or we would impose really strict rules. They were called behavioral remedies. So quite a technical job. You had to, have a lot of knowledge of competition law. And for my job, I was paid £37,000, which, is not a lot of money for that kind of job. And I one day Googled what my equivalent at the Federal Trade Commission, so that's the US version of the CMA, what they made. And they made $108,000 US. So we're talking more than double what I made for pretty much the same job. And it just goes to show, and this is across multiple industries, the UK salaries compared to the US are awful, diabolical, terrible. We are paid so badly, even in jobs that, you would expect high pay. A doctor here in the UK, a new doctor, I think they start at about 35 grand a year. Even a consultant surgeon here is making maybe 80, 90 grand a year, maybe. In America, you got doctors and surgeons making $300,000-$400,000. It is a joke over here, guys.
A couple of weeks ago, I came here to ask British people where they think the UK would rank as an American state out of wealth, and it went viral. It was the most viewed video I've ever made, where I got to keep my clothes on. I got an email from some bloke called Mr. Beast asking me to stop stealing his audience. But I did get a couple of people saying, there's only 6 people in your video. So I thought I'd come back, challenge accepted, and get some more. If Britain was an American state, obviously there's 50 states,
yeah.
How many states do you think are richer than us, how many poorer in terms of GDP per capita?
How many are richer than us?
Yes, per capita.
Oh God, out of 51?
Yeah, well, out of 50.
Out of 50, we'd be the first, would we? Okay, I'd pure guess 10.
10.
I mean, and that's a fair guess. The UK, you'd guess number 10, wouldn't you?
So you think 10 would be richer than us?
Well, I'm pretty sure Texas would be richer than us. Maybe California would be richer than us.
Yeah. I've got some horrible news.
Yeah.
If Britain was an American state, we would be the 51st in GDP per capita, the poorest state. We've just been, so this is based on a study by the Institute of Economic Affairs. We've just been overtaken by Mississippi, the poorest American state. But what was really interesting is there was a survey of 3,000 British voters, and on average, the average Brit thought we'd be the 7th richest. So actually, you did better than average.
Okay.
And there's a huge disconnect between how wealthy British people think they are and how wealthy we actually are.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be?
I guess it's probably from years of. I think we're adjusting, aren't we, as a nation, from a producing economy to, I guess,
services.
A service economy.
Yeah, all of our manufacturing is gone. All of it is gone, outsourced. It's all in other countries. We don't make anything here anymore. We don't make anything.
Seems to be the way forward, and America kind of covers all of that, and we're sort of diminishing a bit on the world stage.
If Britain was an American state, there's 50 American states.
Yeah.
In terms of GDP per capita, how many do you think are richer than the UK? How many are poorer?
How many states are richer than the UK?
Yeah, in GDP per capita, and how many are poorer?
Probably quite a few, maybe 30 or 40, I would say.
Wow, he's on it. He knows.
In the UK.
Yeah.
So you think the UK is sort of about 40th, 30th, 40th, something like that?
I have to think about it. You've got the West Coast states are pretty wealthy. East Coast states are pretty wealthy. You've got Texas in there. Others, maybe UK would come in the middle. I'm going to pitch 25. Okay, so,
I'm going to shock you. There's been a new study, it's by the Institute of Economic Affairs. The UK would be the 51st, the poorest American state in terms of GDP per capita. We've been overtaken by Mississippi, the poorest American state.
I was going to say Mississippi, Arkansas.
Yeah, we've just been overtaken by Mississippi and Alabama, the 2 poorest American states.
Okay, wow. That surprised me.
But what was interesting, because obviously your prediction was actually pretty good, because the 3,000 British people were surveyed, and the average result was they thought we'd be 7th out of 50, whereas we'd actually be 51st.
The biggest problem is we just can't get the economy to grow here. They just tax small businesses so brutally that so many go bust because they can't pay all of the taxes, the national insurance, the VAT. So there's SMEs are getting strangled. You've got the major companies who are, with their armies of lawyers, able to evade tax. So they're just billions of pounds aren't getting paid in tax. So they go after the small companies, which keeps wages down, right? Because, you know, so many people are leaving as well. Like wages are kept down. And so there's no disposable income. So people can't buy things. So the economy won't grow.
So you did significantly better than the average.
Well, I know, especially under the last sort of 2 to 3 governments, we've slipped so far down compared to wealth in America. We used to be a little bit more on par, but America is a lot wealthier than we are now.
Yeah,
way
absolutely.
wealthier.
Which leads to the question: why do British people think we're richer than we are? Why do we not realise we're poorer than Americans?
It's because they're in London right now, and London by itself would be really, really well performing. It's just the rest of the UK's kind of, you know, been neglected.
I think it's historically they think we're, you know, one of these very wealthy countries. Compared to others. Also, maybe they haven't realised where America is and has maintained. But we're in a real mess right now. Absolute. You know, what Starmer has done to this country is a disaster.
If Britain was an American state, if we were the 51st state, how many states do you think would be richer than us and how many poorer than us per capita?
Oh, that's a big question.
It is a big question.
Jeez.
We ask the big questions on this channel.
Oh,
No apologies.
God. Fuck knows.
Do you think we're richer than any states?
So I think we're probably in the middle.
Interesting. So it's like sort of 25 out of 50.
Yeah, I'd say in the middle.
Because that a lot of people say that. Unfortunately, it's not right.
Oh, right, okay.
So there's been a new study by the Institute of Economic Affairs. The UK is now poorer per capita than all 50 American states.
Is it?
Yeah, we've been overtaken.
Shit.
We've been overtaken by Mississippi, the poorest American state. But what's really interesting is there.
I'm just thinking, how do we turn this around? I think there's a few things we need to do. Like the UK probably spends way too much on benefits. We need to cut that. I think it's 150 billion a year the UK spends on benefits. Just can't afford that. We need to reduce the taxes on small businesses. We need to get businesses growing, and we need to go after these big corporations that are evading tax. I think those 3 things could probably help turn the tide.
There was a survey done by the same group, 3,000 British voters. The average answer was they thought we would be the 7th richest state if we were an American state. We'd actually be the 51st.
Wow.
So it's a huge. I mean, your guess was actually significantly better than like the average British public. So there's a huge gap.
I think I wanted to say. I wanted to say lower, but I was being over optimistic, hoping that it was. Yeah, hoping that Britain was better than it obviously clearly is.
There's 50 American states. If Britain was an American state, how many states do you think would be richer than us? How many would be poorer than us?
In terms of GDP per capita or total?
GDP per capita. I should have clarified that.
I would probably say maybe about 35 or so.
Wow, he's got an idea.
Oh, richer than us?
Yeah, richer than us,
Okay.
I think so.
So we'll be in the bottom half, but still relatively wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately,
I've got that really wrong.
well, so yes, but no. So there's been a big study by the Institute of Economic Affairs.
Okay.
The UK is now poorer than every single American state in terms of GDP per capita. We've been overtaken by Mississippi, the poorest
The worst
state.
thing about that is if you take out London from that, I guarantee
it
it
gets
would be worse
much
than a
worse.
lot.
Absolutely. London is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the UK in terms of GDP, for sure. I'm willing to bet London accounts for probably at least a quarter.
Other places, yeah.
But what's interesting is there was a survey of 3,000 British adults or voters, I think it was, and on average they thought that if we were an American state, we'd be the 7th richest, not the 51st.
Yeah.
So actually, you did a lot better than the average Brit. Which kind of leads to the question: why do you think that Brits think we're much richer than we are?
I mean, I do geography at university, so human geography, so it's a bit similar to what I'm studying at the minute. But I think, due to maybe the wealth effect and stuff, but people have this false idea of actually maybe how it used to be when they used to go abroad and spend their money compared to what it is now. And I myself, I'm 19, I was thinking of maybe moving off to university because I just don't think that the youth job prospects are there.
They're awful. Youth job prospects are terrible right now, even for quality graduates from like Russell Group, which is like the top 20, top 30 universities in the country, they're struggling to get jobs now.
Currently, I don't think that the tax system currently is, supporting entrepreneurs. And so, yeah, I think other places there's more opportunity.
If Britain was an American state, there's 50 states. How many states do you think would be richer than us? How many would be poorer than us? I know it's a difficult question.
I want to say 20 would be poorer than us.
24. So you think we would be in the top 30?
Yeah.
Interesting. And would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to possibly shock you. There's been a new study by the Institute of Economic Affairs. We would be the poorest state. We would be if we were an American state, we would be the 51st state. We would be poorer than Mississippi, which is the poorest American state in GDP per capita. Does that surprise?
That really shocks me because Mississippi, I hear constantly about how poor a lot of cities are in Mississippi. I can't believe that the UK would be poorer than Mississippi.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah.
And so why do you think it is that the Brits think, because there was also a survey of 3,000 British people were surveyed, and actually you did better than the average, because the average Brit thought that we'd be seventh richest, and we'd actually be 51st. Why do British people think we're richer than we actually are?
I'm not sure. Isn't it because aren't we like in the G7?
We are.
We are in the G7.
Yeah, we are, but obviously so is America.
Yeah, but I guess we're like historically quite a rich nation.
But do you think that because since the financial crisis, our economy's been stagnating, GDP per capita has not increased that much at all, whereas America.
It's just, it's a mess. It's a mess. I just don't understand how things have gotten quite so bad. I don't know what is it just the manufacturing jobs? Like any Brits watching this, like why do you think that the UK, considering where the UK was maybe 30 years ago, like why, the financial abilities have kind of gone down so much? Is it just the manufacturing jobs? I don't think it is. I think it's a combination of things. We definitely tax people way too much to, pay for, things like the benefits bill, which I just don't think we can afford, because if you tax people so much, they're going to either go abroad or they're going to find ways to evade tax. The amount of people that evade tax, don't get me started. And the amount of people leaving, my little brother, he's in the Middle East. He's having the time of his life. I don't know how we fix it, but the next Prime Minister needs to really get on it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you did, check out this video right here and hit the join button below. See you there.